I mentioned Emmanuel Levinas. I'm really interested in him. I have been for a long time, but especially so at the moment. He was born in Kovna, the birthplace of the Musar movement, which was an introspective, ethical movement. You can read about it in Chaim Grada's work as it actually played out in practice, which was often sort of like an encounter group with payas and tzitzis, and not always so pleasant. But Levinas is a very, very interesting philosopher. He ended up studying in France and becoming a French citizen and survived the war as an officer in the French army. He was in a military prison camp, which was not a happy experience, but which did save his life. And when he got out, he began writing these philosophical books that really don't mention the experience of going through the war and the Holocaust, but are informed by it in every way. He lost his parents and his brother. His wife and daughter were hidden in a monastery and saved. But you know, it's an experience that alters not only your life but your thinking. And he said a lot of things that are very interesting. But what I have here is from an essay called "Loving the Torah More Than God." What Levinas says is, loving the Torah even more than God means precisely having access to a personal God against whom one may rebel, that is to say, for whom one may die. There's this sense that, you know, you've got the Torah, which is sort of leverage against God. You know, even Moses is always saying to God, this is what you told us to do. If you don't allow us to go ahead and do it, if you wipe us out because you're angry with us now, you know, first of all, what will they say about you in Egypt? But, you know, what will become of your people? You know, we have responsibilities toward each other. And, you know, Abraham rebels against God when God tells him he's going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, he says, far be it from you to do such a thing. What if there are, you know, so many righteous people in it, which in the end there aren't, but, you know, Abraham insists on taking up their cause. Here's another from Levinas. The biblical teaching does not consist of praise for a model people. It consists of invectives. Israel's sole worth lies perhaps in having chosen this book of anger and accusation for its message, having made this book its own. Israel is not a model people, but a free people. I love that. The JCA is a Reconstructionist shul at this point. It was unaffiliated when I joined, but Reconstructionism had, the founder of Reconstructionism, Mordechai Kaplan, who incidentally was also from Kovna, and so has this Musar connection, but he was very uneasy with the idea of Jews as chosen. And he wrote that out of his liturgy. And I think he was wrong. You know, I suppose you do encounter people who think of chosenness as being special and being superior and so on, but that's not really what it's about at all. It's, you know, being chosen to be in this difficult, sometimes miserable relationship with God, whatever that turns out to mean in the long run. And it's you know, this whole idea that the Bible is not praise for a model people. You know, you read it and it's really not. And it's being chosen is being chosen for something that we're not quite sure of and have to figure out and have to keep on figuring out over thousands of years.